Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very glad to see you. I'm very glad to be invited at this important meeting. Let me first of all reiterate government's full support to the private sector. It is you who builds the strength of our country, who drives our country forward, and the government really appreciates your business and your contribution in the development of our country. First of all, let me just talk briefly about where we are, what are our plans, what are our priorities. The EU-Georgia relations, probably the highest priority for us. As you all probably know, in the end of the last year, European Commission published a technical report that Georgia fulfilled all the technical points of our assignment in visa liberalization action plan, and we are working now towards consolidating international support of European countries in order to finalize this very important process and to open visa-free travel for Georgian citizens. We consider this as an integral part of deep and comprehensive free trade area agreement, which really started a new era of Georgia's development. Free trade and free travel are complementary. It is essential for Georgian small and medium enterprises to travel to Europe, to explore the opportunities of European market, and I'm glad to mention that only in 1 year of our signing of association agreement and the free and deep and comprehensive free trade area agreement, trade with European Union, especially export to European Union countries, increased by 13%. European Union accounts 33% in Georgia's foreign trade portfolio, and it is growing. And we are diversifying our foreign trade portfolio markets further. Georgian wines are traded now in distant countries such as United States, China, and we are decreasing our dependency on the single markets as it was before. DCFTA remains our highest priority, and the related reforms are high priority for government. We are undertaking action plan. It is crucially important for Georgian businesses to explore the benefits and opportunities of European market. This year we are waiting for NATO Warsaw Summit, and we are working again in close cooperation with NATO to achieve further integration to this very important alliance, which eventually should become a shelter for Georgia's security. We are working very hard to reach accomplishments that will be important to increase Georgia's defense capabilities and to increase security generally in the country, which is crucial for improving business environment. For our government, we have 4 main priorities in the nearest future. 4 main blocks of reforms. First of all, this is tax reform. We are switching to Estonian model of the tax administration. We will be abolishing profit tax. We are preparing the relevant legislation, and in the nearest future it will be discussed on the government, and hopefully in a couple of months from now we will have a new tax code where only distributed earnings will be taxed. Of course, it will require respective budget adjustments, and we are ready to make these adjustments despite the fact that we are in the election year. We need to start significant liberalization of the business environment and a comprehensive tax reform is something that we consider crucial in making these changes. Also, tax administration reform. Fadi mentioned our meeting 2 years ago, and most of the issues that were raised by the businessmen was concerning tax administration. And we are changing rules of tax inspections so that there will be time limits for the tax inspection. There will be detailed rules of the tax inspectors, how to conduct tax inspections. And also we will be reforming the tax police as an institution. Additionally, in the business environment reform block, we will be launching a startup financing facility that will give opportunities for startup businesses, especially to young people, innovative people, to procure financing to start business without engaging collateral with the banking sector. And we believe that these changes will be important change driver in the future, in the nearest future. Second block of the reforms is the governance reform. We consider it very important reform. We will be launching delivery and performance monitoring unit in the Prime Minister's administration, which will speed up the projects generally in the whole government. Currently, we are in the process of reviewing the portfolios of each ministry, and we are identifying from 3 to 5 priorities for each ministry. Form the portfolio of the whole government, and there will be clear priorities that will be addressed in the nearest future. 3 main criteria for identifying priorities are, first of all, public importance and concern. Second, the existence of the resources. And the third, compliance with the country development strategy. So in 1 month from now, we will be presenting the new priorities for the whole government, which will be broken down in the, according to the ministries. One more important reform in the governance block will be creation of the unified front office for the whole government. This will be phase 2 public service hall component. We already have public service hall that extends excellent services to the individuals, and we are expanding this project further to cover the private sector and legal entities. This will mean that there will be only one physical space where all companies and legal entities would apply to receive any kind of services from the government. Of course, this will entail further shrinking of the government in the future, optimizing the size of the government to have more flexibility and to have more efficient government. This is a very important reform. We consider this reform very important to increase the government efficiency and the speed of the projects. Third, also very important block of the reforms is the regional and infrastructure development. Current speed of the infrastructure development of the country really needs acceleration. We believe that we can come up with better solutions to create skeleton infrastructure of the country, which is, first of all, fast completion of the highway project, and also building of several important roads for increasing transit capabilities of the country. Our philosophy will be to outsource more and more projects to the private sector, to arrange as many PPPs as possible. This will create lots of opportunities for private companies in building the skeleton infrastructure for the country. Fourth block of the reforms, but maybe the most important, is the education system reform. What we have right now, that current education system contributes to the growth of the unemployment in the country. We are producing every year more and more potentially unemployed people. We will be transforming the education in the future into the system which will be based on the comprehensive survey dynamic survey of the economic development of the country, where government resources will be channeled more efficiently into the specialties that will be in demand in the future. And also more focus will be addressed towards the professional education system. We will redirect more government resources into the development of the professional education system, and again, private educational institutions, especially in the professional education sector, will be a priority for the government. These are four main blocks of the government reforms in the nearest future. Overall, I can assure you that Georgian economy will remain an open economy. We are one of the most liberal economy in the region. We are very far from any kind of protectionism. The only challenge for the government is ensure the reciprocity in free trade agreements that we have with all our neighboring countries, with the European Union, and as you probably heard, we recently launched free trade negotiations with China. On China, I should mention that China brings new dynamism into the growth potential of Europe, and Georgia can play an important role in linking Europe and Asia. Georgia is building itself and positioning itself as a European country with European institutions, regulations, lighter regulations than in a typical European country, but with more flexibility, with less bureaucracy, with a country which has excellent geographic location, very simple bureaucracy, very low taxes, and especially after the reform that I already mentioned, we will have even lower tax burden for the private sector, with educated labor force, again, with the lower energy costs, and these all are important prerequisites that, provided that we have an efficient government, we will become a trade and logistics hub in the region. I would like to thank you all for your attention. I would like to assure you that we have a very strong feeling that we are employed by you. We are employed by Georgian population and our constituents, of course, first of all. And we will do our utmost to serve you in the interests of the development of our country, and your businesses we consider as important drivers in this development process. Thank you very much.